Like I said,
Welcome to the podcast.
again, you tried this a couple of times. We'll see how it goes.
That is
Hey,
so
I've
funny
done
to
that.
me.
No,
That
you
shit
don't.
is
You've
fucking
never done it.
funny.
You rearrange it and make it something else.
Yeah, I make my own because I mean, honestly, yours is okay, but it's not what it is. I like mine better.
Welcome to a new episode of Fit the Description, a Black Men's podcast where various Black men come together to talk about life, society, entertainment, culture, news, and whatever else we want to talk about from various Black men's perspectives. I'm your host, G, and today we got Keith,
What's up?
Shibity,
Yep.
and maybe we'll have James on later.
Oh,
You good over there?
yeah, yeah, it's just too funny. It's hilarious.
Oh, yeah. On your way in, make sure to subscribe, follow. Also, make sure to check out the Clips channel, Fit the Description podcast over here on YouTube. All additional links will be down below if you want to check out the audio version of this podcast. And also we also have an Instagram, just so you know. And beyond that, let's go ahead and get started.
Oh yeah. Let's start today.
So what's your question you want to ask me?
I said, how do you feel about being on a job 5+ years and then all of a sudden they decide to ask you for your credentials?
Okay. Short answer. I want to look at like what the The second thing I would say is, what does that mean? And just a simple answer. Go ahead.
Licensing, school information, etc.
Yeah.
Transcripts, diplomas of that nature after you've been at the job 5+ years.
Yeah, to me, I'll be like, what? That doesn't make any sense. Like, I mean, I guess it makes sense in a way, but I guess it'd be like, why the f are you putting this on me now? What the f does that mean? If I've been on there for 5 years, that shouldn't even matter. Although I would say this, back when I was in college, it happened to one of my teachers where one of my teachers, I guess he got a job and he falsified his records. So they made him, so he had to resubmit his records. So, I mean, I get it.
That's how you feel about it?
I mean, I'll probably be upset, but then at the end of the day, it's like, well, what the fuck does this mean? You know, as long as I'm not losing my job, but I think I would be annoyed that I had to go back and
what if after all those years your job is being threatened based off of needing to provide different credentials that wasn't asked for before?
Oh, I'm looking for a new job. Go tell you that right now. I'm gonna be applying to new jobs that day. I'll say that as long as I can, but I'm gonna be sitting there online, Indeed, put in my resume.
That's funny.
Well, I kind of went through the same thing in my job because I got hired during the pandemic. So they need to know anything for a lot of people. So when everything 3 years, 4 years later, after everything kind of got back to a sense of normalcy, they was finding out people's things were expired, and then like it threatened our like had to hurry up and go get licensed and have IDs and was driving or not driving IDs. I'm sorry, they didn't have driver's license and they were driving vehicles on property. So it was a big thing at one point in time. Trust me, I just went through that. So I mean, how I feel about it is like that's more of a company-based thing. But well, it was because of the pandemic. But yeah, it's like we almost lost a lot of sites because of that, which sucks. Like we gained more sites, but it was a detrimental thing where I almost didn't have a job because of that whole like credentials thing, because they were, like I said, they were just rapid hiring. They didn't tell us how much we was getting paid. They didn't give us no information. They were like, here's a job, here's a site, go to it. So I feel like, yeah, that was a company thing. But how I feel about it is that can happen whenever.
That makes sense though, like license, like okay, especially if you're if your job requires you to have a driver's license, and that's something that's going to actually affect something, I
Yeah.
freaking get that. But the main thing is like, for instance, you've been on the job for 5+ years. You haven't had
Mhm.
any complaints. You've been doing a good job. And then they're like, "Oh, you know what? We want your diploma. Your diploma. I know you're like 40, but we want your diploma." I'm saying
I'm
like it's going to affect your work ethic that you've been putting in for however many years. It's like now I get that. Like, your license and your to do things. I get that.
mhm.
For instance, at my job, like, you gotta have CPR. That makes sense that
Yeah.
you make sure you have that,
Yeah.
because clients can have seizures, do different. So it makes sense. Okay, you got to have that. You got to be DSP certified. You got to be CPI certified. Crisis prevention. Those things make sense. I get that. They do that stuff every year, and it's for the job. So you and it's training that they pretty much give you. But I'm just saying,
Mhm.
like, after you've been doing the job for so long, they turn around and say, "Oh, you know what? Can we get your transcripts and your diploma?" It's like, what the?
Isn't that a
I
legal issue
mean,
though?
yeah,
Wouldn't that be like a legal thing? That's why they gotta do it.
yeah. No, I
I'm
don't
not
know.
sure.
I don't. I don't know why they would need your diploma. I mean, I'm not saying that it's like I've only worked for two jobs that actually needed to see my physical diploma, which was just weird to a person like me. I would imagine that that's on a file somewhere, but maybe not. Maybe I don't know how that works. But 5 years later, asking if you actually passed high school or whatever the case may be, yeah, I mean, it's kind of insulting, if anything.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, it's more insulting than it is like unnecessary to a person like me. It's like I've been here, you know. Like, why do you need my diploma? You gotta fire me if I don't tell you I have a
Uh,
diploma. Like,
yeah, I recently got some information from someone, and yeah, that's what they're going through right now. They're going through the fact that their job basically gave them a paper giving them, like, within the month, like, if they don't give them access to their diploma, that it could lead to termination or to disciplinary actions. And
That's
oh wow,
after they've been at the job for, like I said, 5+ years.
yeah. I would think you at that point you'd be grandfathered in. Like once you already had the job, they can't really go back and do that. Although he does have a story of people basically graduating high school and coming to snatch this up. So
Right. And they do stuff like that for, like, I don't know, it seems like kind of like my other friend was like, it just seems like they're bored. Like, people just do stuff just because, like, after somebody been there so many years, it's like, why? That's the thing about jobs, that when some people times when they put all their energy into the jobs, like, these really don't care. They really don't freaking care. Like, I remember when I was at the freaking newspaper, they sold the company, and the new people, like, I never met them. A little over a month and a half had passed, and the company was already sold. And I saw one representative and didn't really know. Wait, did I see a representative? I think I saw maybe one, and it was in passing. It wasn't like he came and introduced himself or tried to get to know anybody or check anybody out. You saw people walking around here and there, but then I'm like, I put it together. I was like, man, this dude's about to start chopping heads. And everybody was like, "No, it's gonna be all right." Da, 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 da. I'm like, "Oh, no, man, he haven't got. Don't nobody know these people? Like, don't know. He hasn't talked. They haven't came in and checked out what we're doing or know anybody to even know who's an asset or not. And sure enough, people have been there 20 years, 15 years, and they were chopping heads. It was sad. It was freaking sad, man. Like these jobs, people, they don't understand that that's people's livelihood. Could you imagine working for a job 15, 20 years, getting your head chopped off and basically having to start over? Not everybody can get a job like that, right away. And some of these employers, to me, it just seems like, they don't see you as humans. Like they see you as that, like the prison system. You're nothing but a freaking number. You're just a number on that piece of paper to them.
Well, I've said this on this podcast before, where I knew a guy who basically he wound up getting a stream job, but he decided to take this other job because he was like, I want to keep my word, and I'm like, that's it. Like, if you get your dream job, you might as well go take it, because at the end of the day, if a company has to choose you or them, who do you think they're going to choose?
I mean, I got to disagree with that. From being on a certain tax bracket, it's like you kind of have to, like, of course, you're for all your employees. Of course, you're not going to. I literally have this argument at work. It's like, you guys are like, because at my job, because it's a dispensary. So obviously things like the product isn't selling like it should. So now the big bosses that have never really came down here are starting to come down here and have influence. So now everybody's got a humbug up there. So it's like, yeah, because when they see their bank account, let's say their bank account says 2-3 million, whatever, a year, X amount of dollars, if it's 20, like if it's $20 off, it's like, okay, but now it's $20,000, $30,000 off. It's like, okay, hold on, what's on? Like, we've been fine. So it's like they don't care about how long you've been there, because there's people there that are open that are good workers. But who cares if you're a good worker if you can't get this job done to fill my bank account and my way of lifestyle? Then you got to go. Now, I do agree with you as a little man. Like, yeah, it's up, but putting my mind in the business state of a certain tax bracket, I get it. I could care less. I care about you making me money. I don't care about your family. I don't care about your dog that's sick. I don't care about your grandmother. I don't care about if you need a day off. I don't care about none of that. I care about what's in my bank account and what you bring to my bank account. You are another number. You are expendable. So from that point of view,
always has the most ruthless answers. Like, it's like seriously, like every time we have a conversation about anything, it's like, look, I care about me and mine, and that's the fuck it. Like, I don't give a shit.
No, I'm not saying that. I'm saying talking to CEOs at some of these events and stuff, and you hear what they say, and you like, damn, like, okay, I get it, but you're a millionaire. I can't argue the factor of the way they're doing it. I'm not saying that's how I feel. I'm saying I get it from the tax bracket point of view. That's what I'm saying. I know it's a answer, but I'm saying that's why some of them feel like that. But yeah, I'm sorry if it's brutal and
right. No, I get it. I'm just saying, like, it was even like, I think it was another time we were talking about relations or something, or relationships, and it was like the same kind of energy. Like, I give a fuck about me and mine. It's like, that's it. No, like, I don't give a fuck. Yeah. Like, it was just like, I was like, dang, this dude is like, is like, he's like the final boss. Like, I don't care about shit.
Honestly, you know what's hilarious about that? That's not the first time somebody said that about me. I've been called that in the last month to somebody else because I let this chick have it at work, and she's like, shout out on Mortal Kombat. Like, god damn, like, you throwing everything at me. I'm just like, I'm not trying to be that person, but I feel like we don't have a lot of voice of reason in the world, and I feel like if you start that. It's like, if I could be that voice of reason, You said what?
No, I'm trying to figure out what Jesus get saying amen to.
Oh,
About there's no more voice of reason in the world, which, yes, I agree with that. I like to say there's not enough critical thinking in the world, but yeah, I agree with that statement too.
I got you.
Oh,
it's
you can
like
go. I
we
didn't mean to
just
cut
want
you off. I was just agreeing with you. I was just agreeing
Oh
with
no
your
no no
point.
no no no. I just wanted to see what you were saying amen to. I'm not cutting them off either.
Yeah.
we we want to believe that everybody has a heart. It's just like James was saying earlier about his friend, and stuff. Being able to not do something. It's like, dude, I feel the same way. It's like, bro, this is about money. This is about doing something. It's like I 110% agree with that. Like, bro, giving you more than enough time to figure something out. I've been there. I've literally given dudes more than enough time on not even business. Like I done told people a year in advance, this is my son's birthday. This is where it's going to be. It's not going to change. Literally a year in advance. You can't tell your job or whatever a year in advance. Like, hey, it is literally a year to the day. I'm gonna need April 7th off. Okay, we'll figure it out. You might not even be there in a year. But I'm saying, still, like, some people just, oh, man, if you would have told me, what the you mean if I would have told you? What are you talking about? If I would have told you it's going to be some butt naked there, I bet you would have figured it the hell out then. Bet you would have figured it out then. If I would have been like, it's pussy popping, and then you would have like, oh, okay, nigga, it's a day up, nigga, this job. Oh, yeah, all right.
That's
It's
funny.
it's just where people's mind lies is just, when it comes to just in general. And I'm just like, dude, I want people, like, I literally ask dudes like 2 weeks in advance. Like, I got friends that's like that too. I'd be like, okay, hey, bro, just tell me a week in advance and I got you. They'll call me day of, like, hey, nigga, we have to go to the bar. Bro, what are you talking about?
Yeah,
Like,
that's
that
just
shit
bad.
drives,
Period.
dude, that's like literally after I done paid all my bills, I'm sitting here playing 2K. I get a text message in about an hour. Oh, nigga, let's go to the bar and go to Buffalo Wild Wings. First off, I got to be at work at 12 o'clock. First off, let me just throw that out there.
Yeah,
Two,
you know
nigga,
what,
I done had.
cats with no responsibilities don't. I think they don't get that. They don't understand. Like, look, my life is on a schedule. Okay, I actually got responsibilities and shit that I gotta do that I really don't want to do. But guess what? I'm on that schedule. A perfect example is this podcast. Like, oh yeah, I'll be there. And I'm like, oh, shit, I ain't been asleep yet. So I'm like, oh man, I had to go to work. I had to do this. I had to go that. And well, oh shoot. Well, let me try to get 30 minutes. 30 minutes turned into 2 hours, and next thing I know, I'm like, oh, but I do it in advance though. But I'm just saying, if it was like a situation where somebody wanted me to do something like right now, I'm like, or in an hour or two from now, I'm like, wait, hold on. I gotta check some stuff. I gotta see if I can move some around. You can't spring anything on me or it's just not getting done. Cause I got too much going on.
Yeah, no, and it's like I agree with that logic, and it's like people, like I said, when it comes down to it, it's like spur of the moment. Like I said, G has hit me like he's texted me and been like, "Hey man, we're talking about this. Can you join?" Sometimes I'd be like, "Yeah, man, I'm good. Like I could talk." Sometimes I'm just like if I don't answer, I'm probably knock it out because like I know this is gonna be a 6 hour debate, and this like crack to a person like me. Sometimes I ain't even gonna lie to you, nigga. This is where I get my jolly. I'm a sick. Like I like debating. I like having conversations about absolutely utter nonsense sometimes because it's fun. It's fun. It's a competitive thing. Like I said before, that the world is missing. Like having us talk and go back and forth and being able to have opinions about some of the most asinine fun to a person like me. Like I said, I get paid to do this for 8 hours at work. So I don't mind coming on here doing the same with people. But it's like at the end of the day, it's like, damn, bro, give somebody a bigger heads up. And like I said, I just gotta take text message. I've been talking about this whole finals been starting for 2 weeks now. It's been 3 weeks since the conference finals went on. My homeboy just fucking hit me up. Hey man, I'm going to the pool hall to watch a basketball game. Nigga, I done made food. I done bought Burger King. I done set up my gaming chair. I done hooked up the TV to watch the game. It's like, why am I going to get dressed, take a shower, go out of this house, meet you at the pool hall? No. And I got to be at work. And I just told him I was going to be on this podcast. He was like, oh, bro, you can watch the game at home anytime. First off, I got to play pool. First off, I got to fucking get money together, which, like I said, ain't a problem, to spend it at the pool hall. It's just going to be me and you there. It's going to be dark. Food going to be shit because this pool hall that we go to, you best off just playing pool. Don't eat food. Don't drinks is water. No, it's just not worth it. It's not worth it. So I'm gonna sit there for 2 hours, watch a basketball game, and play pool. First off, I don't feel like standing. I'm that type of nigga. I'm a old nigga. I walk all night at work. So first off, fuck you. So I told him, I was like, I got this podcast I'm doing, and he was like, just talking shit about it. And I'm just like, I won't be talking to you for a couple weeks because you didn't really piss me off. Because I try to not cuss niggas out. Like, I'm on that James shit. Like, I will literally call you everything but the child of God. Like, I promise you that.
You know, it's kind of
Do you
funny.
think you have anger issues, my friend? I'm just playing. He's like, I'm trying not to cuss the motherfucker out. I'm saying.
Like, I'm serious. Like, I'm trying to be nice. I'm trying to be more wholesome, and I'm trying to not argue as much because I just got told that I like to argue, and that's not true. That's not true.
Well, your recent statements just kind of prove that otherwise, but okay.
I mean, shut the fuck up.
You kind of sound like an asshole, but
just shut the fuck up. That's not the point. I'm trying to not argue, but you just keep sucking me in. You just keep sucking me in. Like, I feel like Ricky Bobby and Dale. It just keeps sucking me back in, man. Fuck, dude. It's like I'm trying to not argue. Like me, honestly, I tell this to a girl all the time. I don't argue. I have debates. There's a difference. there's a thin line between arguing and debating. But
that is true. That most definitely is true.
Like, I fucking hate arguing. Arguing means that I have to get mad. Like, arguing to me is a sense of anger.
Right.
And
That's how I feel.
Yeah.
And it's like, I'm not mad when I have these debates. Now, yes, if it's certain people on this podcast, oh, we gonna argue. we gonna argue. That's a given.
I feel like that's the difference between a debate and an argument. Really, is that the emotion involved, right? If you're genuinely getting upset and you lose all all logical sense, and you're just basically, you know what I'm saying? At that point, it's an argument. It's not a debate anymore. You don't give a crap what I'm saying. I don't give a crap what you're saying. You're trying to say the biggest insult at the end of every sentence. and it's not the will to like the will to make sense is gone, which is kind of why like guys really don't win arguments with females, because it's just that's just out the window. It's just like, well, whoever can say the most painful shit. Kind of like D-Ray said, the next time you want to kill yourself, call somebody else. Like, they just want to say the most ruthless shit. and just to win the damn argument, they don't have to be right. It's gotta be It just got to be the most disrespectful. That's why your mama dead. No,
God damn.
damn, like they
No,
gotta say the most ruthless shit.
no. So and I can literally agree with that. So we was having this debate. So I was going in on this chick at work, and she started talking about like her, ex or whatever. It's like, and this gets me every time a woman has the audacity to say this about they dude or or the father of their kids or whatever, or just any dude that you've been talking to. So at context, she's been due for a year. They're not talking anymore. But you have the audacity to call this nigga a little dick ass nigga, and I'm just like, okay, but that says something about you. Like you let this little nigga fuck you over for a year, but now he's a little dickhead. I'm like, don't get me wrong, it shut me the fuck up because I'm just like, how could you have the audacity to disrespect something that you've been fucking with for a year? Like I would never say no shit like because I was thinking it's like, and an insult like that to a woman, like if I'm talking to y'all and I talk shit about a woman to where it fucks up like I'll be like, oh, her old fucking ugly titty having ass. Y'all gonna be like, damn, like, but you was like being with the bitch, like, so. I don't know. That's how my mind
Like,
thinks.
look,
It's like,
oh, sticky pussy ass, cheese, the weed
yeah,
living ass,
right,
pussy ass, living like. But then when you just talking about you was tearing that shit up the other week, like,
that's what I'm
you know
saying.
what
Like dudes, right? And like dudes don't look at that the same as women. Like women be like, yeah, he ain't shit. Like you was a non shit ass nigga though.
Right. So obviously, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, obviously, it wasn't that bad because you know what I'm saying? You just got like that once he wasn't doing whatever the hell you wanted them to do. Now all of a sudden it's a problem.
Like that shit irks the shit out of a person like me. I'm just like, I could just never talk down about the person that like I got a lot of exes. And it's like, yeah, they got a lot of bad traits, but I'm not going to my homeboys and being like, it's like this gets like that. Like, no, like I still mess with this bitch. So that's like I said, that's to me in my bad taste. I'm not saying that I'm gonna sit here and glorify these chicks up, put these chicks on a pedestal or nothing like that. But I'm not going down the chick that I've been with. Like that just don't make a lot of sense. And like I said, to sit here and hear women dog the father of their kids is just crazy to a person. Like I know too many women that sit here got multiple kids with a man who will sit here and literally talk about dog, and I'm just like, but this nigga nut up inside you, hit kid for 9 months when it was your choice whether to or not. Have this kid. This kid is of age now, and this nigga still a know nothing ass nigga, a piece of shit. You chose that piece of shit. So my question was to her, to put it in context. It was like, okay, so you feel this way. It's like when, like, I was like, what makes women not get flags? And she was like, what do you mean? I was like,
oh, can you say that again? You broke up. Yeah, you broke up. Yeah,
you broke up.
Yeah, you broke up. Can you say that again?
Oh, no. I was saying that. So I asked her, I was like, what, like, I was like, why don't women see red flags? I was like, men too. I was like, us as men, so every dude's thing was the same. It's like, oh, to get blind to pussy and all that other shit. I was like, okay, I don't accept that answer. But I was like, when it comes to women, I was like, it's because she was like, oh, well, I didn't see any of the red flags. I was like, bullshit, there's always red flags. You just choose to stop.
Oh,
but
wow.
she
Can
was
I
like, oh,
chime
no,
in?
there wasn't. Oh, yeah, go. Yeah, go.
Yeah, I was actually generally just talking about this. That's why I said let me chime in for a hot second. I was literally talking to the homegirl about this. I was just like, the reason why us guys, females, The reason at the end of the day why we end up messing around with the wrong ones, or we feel like we can't trust people, is because we really need to take out. If we take out finances and physical, anything physical, then you can really see a person for who they is. But most of the time, people are blind by finances and the physical aspect. Like, how are like they good in bed, or they look good, or they
Oh,
got all this bread. Finish saying what I'm saying.
oh yeah, go ahead, go
Okay.
ahead, go ahead.
All right. So what I'm saying is when you take the physical aspect of it out, then that's when you can really see a person and know that this is who you want to be with. And when we sit up there and we have all this stuff, like, we get infatuated with the wrong thing. We get infatuated with less finances, or what I'm saying, it's tax season, whatever. Like, what I'm saying, you sitting up there, and then next thing you know, like for instance, if a dude put his hands on a female the first time, if she wasn't stuck on the D, or stuck on the attraction or finances, she would kick rocks. She'd disappear real quick. But because her situation situation 9 times out of 10, her situation just don't allow her to, and it's because of what she's getting out of that. What she's getting out of that person is what really, what I'm saying, what really affects that situation at the end of the day. I think that's really what it boils down to. And I believe once people get past that, like, if people, the more somebody got their shit together, the less that they're willing to deal with certain shit. When you just stuck on this shit, like, oh, like your first time having a pretty bitch, or a female's first time having a mandingo, and she don't know what she can't hold her composure together, and so she accepts certain shit that she wouldn't normally accept from the next person. But that's why it puts shades over your eyes. It makes you blind. You gotta really look at a person. If you really want a real relationship, like, if you don't want a relationship, fine. If you want a long-term relationship, if you want somebody that's gonna be there to wipe your ass if you have a stroke, okay, you got to take away physicality, finances. You got to take away all that shit and really look into a person and see who they really the fuck they is. You know what I'm saying? See who they really is, because once you do that, then you can determine if that's somebody that you really want, that you really should be messing with, that really love you for you. That you know what I'm saying? You need somebody that's hanging off them dick hairs. You know what I mean? You need somebody that love your shitty drawings. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's what you need, because that's what it's gonna take when you're not getting along. That's what it's gonna take when y'all argue, and the shit start. That's what it's gonna take. You know what I'm saying? And if you and the quicker you understand people, the quicker people understand that, the sooner they'll have, like, better relationships. You know what I'm saying? If that's the goal, if the goal is to have a better relationship, a strong bond relationship, that's what they have to look at. They gotta look past all the bullshit, and actually understand the fact that they gotta look at a person and not look at what they could benefit from that person, if it makes sense.
No, it makes sense. It's like, okay, so, but like, my thing is, like, I agree with, that. And I'm just saying, like, but should you still bitch about the person that you chose years later? It's like, okay, just as like you said,
Hell
you
no.
should accept. But like, what pisses me off is that a woman will do that and she'll make every excuse, because it's not a lot of men. We kind of just, okay, we're going to do everything in our power to whatever, deal with the situation, however it may be. But a woman will constantly be like, oh, well, yeah, and you didn't do this before. It's like, it's like, for instance, because I was telling my homeboy this, because he was like, oh, well, girl always wants to like him to buy her flowers, or her to buy, or however the shit may be. He wants flowers because of whatever reason, because maybe he used to do it at the beginning. Okay, I get that. But it's like y'all are married and the dynamic has changed. Like he works 2 jobs, blah, 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 this. You know, he has a lot more on his plate. It's 2 kids. It's a lot different. So I'm just, her mind, she can't put that together. Like that's what drives me insane. It's like you can't see that the dynamic of y'all whole life changed when he used
That's
to
because
buy you flowers.
they're not looking at their lives. They're looking at TV. They're looking at romance novels. They're looking at their homegirl and their situations and what they're doing. And they're looking at their situation and they're like, I want that. Well, I don't have that. But go ahead.
Yeah, it just drives me insane that women can beat men so like beat men down so bad, and just like you said, if we get mad and do something drastic because we just had enough, it's like we're the bad guys. Now I'm not saying that you should ever put hands on a woman, whatever, cheat. I'm not condoning any of that. But speaking from a person that's been in compromising situations where I've done shit and I've regretted it later or whatever it may be, it's like actions speaking louder than fucking words. Because I'm trying to talk to you, I'm trying to tell you, I'm trying to explain, I'm trying to, you know, do it your way, and you just ain't listening. I shouldn't have to punch a hole through a wall or fucking punch a door off the hinges or whatever the case may be to get you to be like, oh shit, he's serious now. Like, why does it have to come to that? Why does it have to come
Totally
to?
agree.
Why does
No,
it
I'll
have to
just give
come
you an
to?
amen.
Now I'm about to leave and go take the car because I didn't have my keys. Looking at me and like, you ain't leaving. Why? You clearly don't want to hear my side or care about it. But now that I'm about to go leave and go on a drive to clear my head, oh, I'm going nowhere. It's like, okay, well, talking to you ain't working. And it's like, I'd rather leave than do something I'm going to regret. But women will keep you there. Literally. Keep you there.
I say it all the time. Like what females fail to understand is that when a guy is, it's a good thing when your dude is trying to talk to you. He's trying to talk to you. If that dude is trying to talk to you, it's a sign that he's trying to fix whatever is going on. He's trying to fix. It could be trying to fix him, trying to fix to y'all as a whole. He's trying to fix that situation. When he shuts down and he don't want to talk no more, that's when the shit starts. Like, you know what I'm saying? But if every time he approach you, every time he approach you, you're just just unsubordination. Like he can't say shit to you. It's your way or the highway. That's a problem. And then that's when the shit start. And they say, "Oh, he was a bad man. And he did this and he would start messing with these women and doing this." No, you pushed him to it because you pushed him to that situation because he couldn't talk to you about the issues that he was having. But guess what? He still wants the company of a woman. So since he can't get what he needs from his woman, he still gotta fill that void. He still gotta fill that puzzle that's missing out of his heart. He still need to you know what I'm saying? He still need to be able to to have a civilized conversation. And that's when you leave the person vulnerable. And we as men do the same thing to some women when we ignore them for too long. We ignore them for too long, and then they go to work and they work they, you know what I'm saying, sneak push up on them like, oh, you look beautiful today. You know what I'm
That's
saying? Oh,
funny.
you look, yeah, I'm just saying, oh, you look beautiful today. Like, you know what I'm saying? If you ain't telling your girl that she's sexy or she look beautiful, even when she got her work, if you're not doing that shit, bro, those little things when the next dude say it to her, it means something. But guess what? If you say that shit if you say that shit to them on a regular basis, when the next man say some shit like that, it don't mean shit. Oh, my husband told me that this morning. You know, but if they not receiving that kind of love, if they're not receiving that kind of love on a regular basis, that shit always seems intriguing. You know what I'm saying? And but the thing that they fail to miss those same factors, they fail to miss that with their own men, and then they be worried about the next female and the next female and the next female, and in reality, they need to work on them and making sure like when you comfortable at home, man, you ain't going nowhere, bro. I don't give a fuck. I don't give a fuck what kind of party it is. I don't give a fuck. I don't give a fuck how many bitches is over there. I don't care what's going on. When you at home and you comfortable, especially when you reach a certain age and you comfortable, when you freaking comfortable, like I don't know if you ever been in a bed before where you just woke up and you just don't want to do shit. And you just laying there comfortable. You
Every
there. That's
Saturday.
it. You there.
Every
And
Saturday.
you ain't moving. And then and that's what the females don't understand. The more comfortable they make they do, they not going nowhere. They don't have shit to worry about. Now, if the female done everything that they could possibly do, and that dude still do whatever he do, that's just him. That's just what he do. Stop comparing that dude to other dudes because that dude is just
It's on the
that's what he
stove.
is. That's what he do. You know what I'm saying? I know somebody like that right now. Like no matter how good you are to him, he's still gonna get bitches because that's just who he is. That's the type of dude he is. You
You
know, and
said
he
he
can
don't get bitches. Is that what you?
no. I said I know somebody like that right now that no matter how
Oh.
good you are to him, he's still gonna get bitches. You know what I'm saying?
Mm.
Because that is the kind of guy he is, and it's easy to see that. But the females get digmatized, and they can't see it. You know what I'm saying? They
Say
can't see it. They don't,
digmatize.
yeah, I said digmatized.
Yeah, I know a lot of women like that.
Uh-huh.
Yeah,
Fact.
they get digmatized, and they don't see it, and then what's sad is then they go to the next guy, and they take all the transgressions that guy put her through. She put it on the next dude. Then he can't go nowhere. Then she always in his face tripping on him because of some a situation that she was in with some other dude, you know, and that's why I say like like I said, it goes back to like making sure you take care of you, and if you take care of you and you make sure you're doing what you're supposed to do as a woman, and that dude is comfortable, he ain't going nowhere, and you ain't got nothing to worry about unless he's just that nigga. That's what it boils down to. It's just like it's some females that's for the streets. It's dudes that's for the streets. It is what it is. And they need to stop comparing. They need to stop comparing regular niggas. Excuse my language for using the N word, but they need to stop comparing regular ninjas to regular men to these ninjas out here on the streets. That's for the streets. It is what it is. The fools is for the streets. Stop comparing us men to them fools because it don't work. It don't work. It ain't the same. It is not the same.
Well, that's because most of the women, that's all they fuck with.
Exactly. They feel like this. I was just talking to the homegirl the other day. She said, "Well, the one that ain't shit is screw better." The homegirl just told me that the other day. Oh, that's because the ones that don't be shit, they be knowing how to do such and such, and that's where your quality line is, and that's why you sitting here dealing with being a single mom and dealing with ain't shit dudes because they wasn't shit when you was screwing them, and then you turn around and get pregnant by him. And the cold part about it is you he ain't shit, and you dealing with him because because you know if you know for a fact that the ain't shit dudes is the ones who put laying down the pipe, you knew he wasn't shit when he started laying down the pipe. So why would you put yourself in a position to be tied to the man?
Exactly. He's just convenient. That's all that is. And he knows where he is. He knows his habits. He's predictable. He's convenient. You rather be with a man that's literally gonna sit up on the couch. You know, as soon as you get home, he gonna be there. You know is that if you buy this nigga an Xbox, he gonna be there all day. You can watch this motherfucker online. He gonna do the same shit instead of having a man that has ambition, who likes to work, that has goals, that ain't gonna be in here phone to text you every 5 seconds. It's like you rather be with convenience and predictability instead of spontaneous and, you know, ambition. Like, that's crazy to a person like me. Crazy.
Mm-hmm. Exactly. That's how that should be. And that's why I said then they come with, you know what I'm saying, and then they get mad, and then that's when they like I say, they like you said, the whole thing, like that's why yo shit is this and yo shit is that. And yeah, that's the first thing they go to. All of a sudden, yo D wasn't good enough, or whatever the case may be, because they mad. That's they go to situation. That's they go to. But it'd be like you say, they was the one. It was fine when that person was doing what they wanted them to do, but as soon as that person wasn't doing what they wanted to do, now all of a sudden it ain't shit, or it was this, it was that. It wasn't shit, but bitch, you was with it for 10 years, so it must have been something. So somebody, it's a lie in there somewhere. Somebody capping. We need to change some of these females' names to Kaepernick, because they. Not saying Kaepernick's a liar, but I'm just saying because the word cap. Like, they need to change their name, because, like, you know what I'm saying, to Jennifer Cap, you know what I'm saying, like, it's because it's Cap. Like, oh, he wasn't, his sex game was this, or his whatever was that, and they try to put that in the man's head, but at the end of the day, you was with it for 10 years. So, you know what I'm saying? If you ain't no way in the world you was with it for 10 years and just, oh, I was faking it. Bullshit.
That's a crock of shit.
Bullshit.
It's 365 days out of a year. You can't fake it for 365 days. I'm sorry.
Hey,
there are 52 weeks in a fucking year. Hey, no way. No way in hell.
Right. Shoot. I can't a video game get too boring. I stopped playing it for a while.
Yeah.
It started kicking up dust, man. Come on, man. But you want me to believe you was with this fool for 10, 20 years, and he just so trash.
No. Like I said, the only thing that kills me is that it's the kids factor. You with this nigga for 10 years. If you ever just with this person for 10 years, all right, okay. And like I hate to hang this up, but it's just like that Shaq shit with his ex-wife. It's like, bitch, you don't, like, first off, you're not with this person if you don't love this person. I don't give a fuck what you say to me. You married this nigga, you had 8 kids with this nigga, and you had audacity, and you kept his last name even after y'all split apart for years. And you mean to tell me that you have the audacity to hop on a podcast and be like, I don't think I was ever in love with this nigga? Bro, Shaq is a better man than me. Because I would have,
Let's see out, girl.
We would have had a talk. We would have had words, because first and foremost, I get that you moved on. Shaq has had nothing but good things to say about her. He's blamed himself. So for you to come out and say some shit of that caliber for no reason, and it's like
Jada
only
Pinkett.
Reason why people, huh?
No, I just said Jada Pinkett. Same
And yeah, no, and it's like, and it's like, yeah, And it's like, at the end of the day, it's just one of those things. It's like, you wouldn't be relevant if it wasn't for that person. Nobody would care about you if it wasn't for his last name or his image or whatever the case may be. So it just drives me insane when, like, already nothing ass women can say that shit, but when, you know, women that are sell books and shit and put the title of, you know, oh, I grew from having, you know, being with nothing or whatever title these women choose to have on their books. And it just drives me insane. It's like you sit here and push this agenda, and just like you said, other women look and see like, oh, well, she can feel like that and have everything. It's like, she feels like that because she still has, like, fuck out of here. And it's like, when do we as men, especially famous men, need to be like, because I feel like that's another thing, acceptance. Like I said earlier, these men are just accepting it. And I'm just like, this is what pisses me off. It's like, we got some of the heaviest hitters that people hook up to that are just being like, well, you know, she's a good mother and she's a good person and I support her through her endemics. Nigga, that shit ain't reciprocated at the end of the day because she could give a fuck about you.
Mhm.
And that shit drives me insane. You're not going to fuck up my bag.
It's just image. It's just image. And, you know, at the end of the day, it's just image and a respect thing, right? So, like, kind of like Chris Rock. Like, you know, the ninja didn't come out of Chris Rock when Will Smith did the dumb shit and had a fucking breakdown, right? And so, you know, he conducted himself well. And you got men who are like that, who just like to conduct themselves well. So they're not gonna bash the next person based off their actions. You basically, I was just telling the homegirl like this, like, your actions, you know, people give excuses like, oh, this happened to me, but your actions shouldn't someone else's actions shouldn't dictate how you treat people. You still have a choice to treat people how you want to treat them. If you choose to treat them, if you choose to treat those people a certain kind of way, you choose that regardless of what they do. If somebody gives you harm or whatever, you feel some kind of way about them, just don't mess with them no more. You don't have to retaliate. That's a choice. You don't have to retaliate. You can just not fuck with that person no more. You ain't gotta go over the top. You don't gotta try to tear their character down. You ain't gotta try to cuss them out. You ain't gotta try to belittle that person. You ain't gotta try to hurt that person physically. Just leave that person alone. Simple. That shit is so simple. But people can't do that shit. People got to go off they raw emotions about every damn thing, and that's when the shit start. That's when the shit start. When they sit up there and they go off their raw emotions about every damn thing, and that's when they end up fucking with them every time. Every time that raw emotion that gives you an excuse. Oh, this happened to me, so this is why I'm an asshole, or this is why I feel like I could just go into a public place and say what the fuck I want to say. No, that shit ain't cool. You know what I'm saying? All you really doing is justifying your bad behavior.
But it's like at the same time, there's a difference between raw emotions. Like, okay, like for instance, like the whole Cat Williams thing. It's like, okay, you go on here, talk your shit. But it's like, okay, pound for pound is what it is. But it's like stirring up some shit that meant absolutely nothing. Like, I'm not saying that the Cat Williams thing is it came out of nowhere. He literally had his opinion. I feel like it was unnecessary, but that's, like I said, that just is what it is. I'm biased when it comes to that. But it's like, this woman chose to do an interview. Like I said, I don't disagree with the red table talk shit that happened. I just feel like if you wasn't gonna talk or have no opinion, then you shouldn't even went on there. Like, that's how I felt. If you was just gonna sit there and let her just whip you like a slave on a post, and you know, you shouldn't even. Yeah, if you wasn't gonna be like, well, bitch, you know, you was kind of lacking in certain areas too. Like, you know, if you was gonna let her have it, then okay. But with the whole Shawnee thing, it pisses me off because it just came out of nowhere. Well, actually, I take that back. It was because of something Shannon Sharp and Shaq talked about or whatever, or Shannon Sharp had to say or whatever it may be. But I'm just like, why would you, like, I would have preferred him and her to go on you know, his podcast and they have a conversation about it. But there's no way she has looked this man in his face. Shaq is one of the most biggest billionaires out. 90 companies. This nigga owns 90-something companies. And it's like I said, I'm biased because I'm a diehard Shaq fan. Shaq can't do no wrong to a person like me. Since 1991, I've been a Shaq fan since he was at LSU. You know, but I'm just like, it's just things like that when you're starting to see your idols, that niggas that you have respect for in the game and outside of the game. It's like I'm tired of seeing it. I'm tired of seeing because I just feel like that's spewing over into real life. Like I said, I got friends that get belittled by their women, and I'm just like telling these niggas, like, bro, like, you shouldn't let your woman, like I said earlier, I'm not going to state no names. It's like, you know, certain people that I'm just like, okay, I get that you don't want to argue, and I get that you want to conduct yourself a certain way, but can't you agree that you have to have some type of respect for yourself to put a person like, hey, like, that's not the case. Like, I'm not saying to snap on a bitch, but I'm saying at the end of the day, it's like, you know, you got to remind this woman that you are an alpha. And that's what I just got done saying at work. And she was like, what's the problem with this and that? I was like, women don't let men be alphas, and women aren't feminine anymore. I was like, the reason why we treat you like niggas is because y'all too busy saying bro, cuz, homes, and all. Like, y'all niggas, y'all women are talking to us like niggas first and foremost. So in our mind, that's how I'm gonna talk to you. I'm gonna talk to you like a nigga. I don't see you as no woman no more. First off, you want to dress like a nigga, you want to talk like a nigga, and now you want to be like, oh no, I kick a nigga's ass. I'm not afraid to fight no nigga. Are you fucking serious? I'm the equivalent of a fucking grizzly bear. You want to fight me? Okay.
Okay, hold on.
I'm gonna fuck you up like some salmon.
All right, hold on. That is the argument of today, which is what you hear on the internet. Shit. Most women are saying they would rather be left alone in the forest with a grizzly bear than they would be with the man. So take that.
Oh, true. I didn't even know that.
Yeah, no, it's an argument going on, and they ask women, what would you rather be alone in the woods with, a man or a grizzly bear? And most women are choosing the grizzly bear over a man. So
that's why these women is statistics now, because of that shit. You know, it's like, I have a son, and I never thought that I would have to care about my son's emotion. It's like, what are we being taught at this time?
But I say these words all the time. Men need to stop letting women shame them into submission. That's something I notice that happens a lot, and I keep saying, y'all niggas need to stop doing that shit.
Like, our generation is the last generation of, you know, men, and that's what I'm saying. Like, it's bad that we are teaching, like, all these 20-year-olds are in, like, 20, 25-year-olds, like 18 to like 25-year-olds. It's kind of that newer generation, and they just have no skills. They have no drive. Like, I mean, I don't know about cars like that, but, you know, when I did have a car, you know, I looked on YouTube and how to figure out stuff, so I didn't have to take it to a mechanic, and just in case somebody sold something to me. But I know younger dudes who just take their car to the mechanic and not ask a goddamn question, not get no information, not even try. I'm just like, damn, nigga, he can be fucking you because that shit happened to me at Pet Boys. Fucking said I needed something, ordered the part, $600 later, it was the fuel pump. Literally, I put a whole tank of gas in there, drove it home. Fucking gas leaked everywhere. Literally woke up thinking my house was gonna blow up. Went outside, puddle of gas on the floor. Had to take it to the mechanic, buy a fuel pump that was only $200.
This whole time I thought y'all was ignoring me, and I was on mute.
So
That don't make a
I was like,
difference.
I was on mute. I was like, what the hell? I had lost my train of thought like 3 times. Like, damn, like I said, I'm like, get out. I was on mute. That's funny. I wanted to chime in a couple of times, I think, but I don't. Man, I wish we could roll it back so I could remember what he was saying. But I know one of the things he said, he was talking about the red table talking and not saying nothing. And I wanted to chime in on that. And I wanted to go back to some other shit. But one of the things that sometimes people don't address, yeah, a man could be a man and all this good stuff like that. Oh yeah, that was what it is. So one of the statements he made before I get into that was that, the whole I think he was saying you gotta, let him know, right? I think he said something around that nature. Am I not mistaken? You said letting them know, right? Yeah. All right. So my thing is, what about the master's approach to that? What about the master's approach to something like that? You know what I'm saying? Like the master's approach to that is like, I know I'm a master. I don't have to tell you. A lion's a lion. He ain't got to tell you he's a lion. You know he a fucking lion. You know what I'm saying? He ain't got to show you he a lion or none of that. You know that motherfucker's a lion. Period. You know what I'm saying? And it's kind of like that.
But at the same time, there's not anybody that's discrediting him being a lion. How many animals are discrediting that lion being a lion?
Right. Right. And that's when you go into perception, like, does that matter to you, right? That's when it goes into like, does that matter to you? What the perception of these people of you are what matters to you? That's what it goes. That's really what it boils down to. What matters to you? And when I think of that red table shit and the other shit, what I was getting on that was that mental health is a thing, and I remember you were saying like back in the day and stuff like that, with men being a certain kind of way and not having to worry about emotions. That's why they was beating bitches, because they wasn't dealing with their emotions. You know what I'm saying? You had more women beaters back in the day than you had anything outside of the law shit. It's because them cats wasn't dealing with their emotions. You wasn't allowed to. You know what I'm saying? We had this ideal of what a man's supposed to. We have this idea of what a man's supposed to be. A man can't be, frustrated. Man can't be sad. Man can't not know what to do. Right? And you got all that pressure. And not every man, we all different. Somebody might be good at cars. Like I used to tell old heads, they used to get on me. Oh man, you can't do this with a car. Maybe change oil change or whatever. Maybe change a tire or whatever. Some shit that if it's your first time, you're not gonna know, right? And I'm just like, man, you can't fix a computer. Oh man, you can't like it's like you trying to say you better than me. It's a different time. You know what I'm saying? And a perfect example is when I was younger, and I'll get a little personal. My cousin got upset with me. Older cat. He got upset with me because I couldn't pump gas. Now, I was a youngster. I thought you just pull it and you push it down and the gas should just come out. I didn't know it was a certain way you had to kind of jiggle it and maneuver it and kind of pull it in. Like, I didn't know how to do that. And I didn't have no car. I didn't drive. I didn't have anybody ever had me pump gas. It was my first time ever even touching the gas thing. And instead of saying, "Hey, this is how you do this," he put that stigmatism on it. Oh man, you don't know how to do this, and I think that's what we do. That's what we do as men. We put each other down in those situations, and don't realize that every man ain't the same, and just because they don't have the same skills as the next man, don't make them less than. Because, like I said, one man might be good at cars, another man might be good at fixing the computer. Neither one of them is better than the other one, just because just maybe different generations or different circumstances don't make them, you know what I'm saying, don't make them less than when it comes to manhood. And dealing with emotions as a man is important, because you need to address your emotions at some point in your life, or you're gonna blow up. You're gonna blow up. You're gonna blow the fuck up on somebody, because you're not dealing with your shit. You either gonna blow up on yourself, or you gonna blow up on somebody that hit you, that hit you the wrong way. And then next thing you know, now you in some shit, because you ain't dealing with your own emotions and transgressions that you're dealing with. And we have to, I think it's too much stigmatisms on what a man is supposed to be, and we put that pressure on ourselves, and that's what fucks us up emotionally, right? You'll get fucked up like, oh man, I'm 30. I'm 30. I should be here in life, right? I'm 30. You know what I'm saying? Now you all fucked up. You know what I'm saying? Now you all fucked up because it ain't what you thought it was when you hit 30. Because as a man, you said pop, 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 pop. Now you fucked up mentally. And I see that when I saw the Red Table Talk with Will, that's what I saw. When I saw him slap Chris Rock, that's what I saw. I saw a man mentally fucked. The whole world has been putting him down, and he's done nothing but try to be the best black man he could possibly be. Who has been cleaner than freaking Will Smith? Who has been cleaner than that fool? And he's like, think about it. How many times he probably wanted to slap somebody and didn't?
I would say since 1986, I would say, if you want to be totally technical, since his obviously his rapping days, 1986, there's not been another. There's not there. Yeah, no, I don't disagree. There hasn't been another person that only has, there's only one other man on the planet, black man, that I know that doesn't have one blemish on his record. But like I said, conversation for another day. But no, nobody as much as Will Smith.
Exactly. Imagine how difficult that is, though. Like the restraint it takes,
it's very
right?
difficult. Very difficult.
Right. The restraint it takes, to do something like that. It's easy to fight. It's easy to go off on somebody. That's easy. You know what I mean? Try to walk away, and it's a crowd of people watching you, saying you a bitch because you're not trying to do nothing. Try to walk away from that and see how hard it is. As a man,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah, no, like I said, I'll be the first one to tell the motherfucker, like, I can't always walk away. I'll be the
Right.
first one to tell people that I can't. It's not in me most of the time to walk away. So, I can't. That's why I said, I'm not saying, the people that have been talking with Will, I get that the media can turn some shit around or whatever, but the people that have been rocking with him since day one can truly understand the frustration of how it is of being this image for the world without declaring that I am an image. Like, I learned a long time ago that it took me a long time to accept that I am a role model for my son. Whatever I do, he's going to do. However I look at
Mhm.
shit, he's going to look at shit. And the older I get, and the more I learn, he's going to learn the same shit. So I have to pick and choose what I want to learn, how I want to learn it. I got to pick and choose what I want to say, how I treat people, because he's going to treat the same thing. Like, I'm going through the
Exactly.
same shit right now. Like, it's like I don't have a lot of, and actually, I hate to say this, it's not that I don't have a lot of respect, but I can't stand stupidity. I don't accept it. I just don't. I'm sorry. And it's like me and my girl go back and forth on that because, you know, she'll play dead sometimes or she'll just not care. Then it's like, I'll call her out on it. Now that he's 11, he's starting to get that frustration too. And it's like, you have a mother and a sister. You can't feel like that. It's just like, this is still your mother. This is still your sister. I feel like that because I've been dealing with this shit a lot longer than you. So it's like having to help him understand, like, okay, you gotta, you know, I'm not saying with the world, you can't be frustrated with the world of stupidity, but he takes that shit to a whole nother level. Like, just angry, like he gets angry with stupidity. And I'm just like, first off, take a step back. The world is not as smart as you think they are. A bunch of idiots out here that are making choices for all of us.
Mm-hmm. Look at our president.
Man.
Oh, let me stop.